Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering, your home for real, just down-to-earth, nuts and bolts guitar learning. Welcome. Thanks for taking a minute to watch. We're going to be covering the top 10, actually 15 guitar forms that you're going to need to know to be able to play in any key. Now, keys have lots of different, think of all the songs, there are thousands and thousands of songs and all of the chords that go along with them. But if you boil all that stuff down, the types of chords that are being used are actually not that different from each other. You would think there would be a myriad of differences in the chords, but actually if you boil it all down, there's really certain types of chords that appear more than others. And those chords are what we're going to focus on this time. There's really 4 types of chords that are going to appear more often than not in, whether it's a country song, whether it's a folk song, whether it's a rock song. All songs kind of boil down to a certain pattern of chords, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And there's a PDF that goes along with the lesson. The link is in the YouTube description down below, and that gets you to a 2 or 3 page PDF on the top guitar chords in any key, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So make sure you have that in front of you as we get going. Hey, if you think about it, if you like the material that we're doing, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and we will, you'll be notified next time that we go live. All right, you ready to go? Let's get back learning. It's a new year and lots of good things to learn. All right, so let's talk about the top guitar chords in any key. Now, we talked about how there's a gazillion different chords, yes, but across all kinds of music, certain types of chords keep coming up. And there's basically 4 types of chords that keep coming up. All right, so here's the deal with that. In any key, certain chords are more important. Those important chords are the chord that appears on the 1, the first step of the major scale in that key. So if I'm in the key of C, you're going to see a lot of C chords that are going to be used. If I'm in the key of D, you're going to be seeing a lot of D chords that are used. Whatever is the first chord in that major scale, that major, we're going to make that a major chord, the 1 chord, that's important. That's one of our 4. The next one that's important is the 4 chord, the chord that appears on the 4th step of the major scale. If I'm in the key of C, the 4th step of the major scale is C, D, E, F. Okay, so in a song in the key of C, I'm going to be seeing a lot of C chords, but I'm also going to be seeing a fair amount of F chords probably, which is the 4. So I'm going to be seeing some of the 1 chord, and I'm also going to be seeing some of the 4 chord. All right, so that's 2 of our 4 chords that are primary in most songs, not all songs, but most songs that you're going to hear on the radio or out in as you're going about your life, can be fit into a lot of these 4 chords. All right, so that's 2 of them, the 1 chord and the 4 chord. The next one is the 5 chord, the chord that's built off of the 5th step of the major scale, C, D, E, F, G, okay? So in the key of C, I'm going to be seeing a lot of C chords. I'm going to be seeing a lot of F chords, that's the 4, and I'm going to be seeing a lot of G chords, which is also, all 3 of those, 1, 4, and 5 are all major chords. C major, F major, G major, okay? Now, on that 5 chord, we tend to put a 7th on it, a 5-7, a G7. So if I'm in the key of C, you're going to see G7s, okay? If I'm in the key of D, the 5th step would be an A, D, E, F, G, A, okay? And so I would expect to see a lot of A7s. So there are 3 of the 4 types of chords that you're going to see a lot in music. The 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 with the 7 on it, the 5-7, that dominant 7th we call it. Now the other one, even with just those 3 chords, wow, you can play a good hunk of any country song that you come across. You're cheating heart, to tell on you, da-da-dun-dun, da-da-dun-dun. I wish I knew the words. Dun-dun-dun-dun, da-da-da, 4 chord, da-da-da, 5 chord, da-da-dun-dun. so many. Now that's just one example that just came off my head. I should have had 20 of them written down here. But 1, 4, and 5 cover a lot of just basic simple songs are going to be covered with 1, 4, and 5. Some songs are even just 2 chords. Okay, but most songs incorporate at least 3. Now there's a 4th chord that is commonly used as well, and that is built off of the 6th step of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, D, E, F, G, A, if I'm in the key of C. And that one is not major like the other ones. That one is minor. Okay, so any chord that is a 6th chord is going to be minor. The 1, 4, and 5 are going to be major. The 6th chord is going to be minor. All right, so those are the 4 main types of chords that you're going to come across. The 1, major, the 4, major, the 5, 7, major, but it has a 7 on it, and then the 6, which is minor. Now that pattern is going to be common in any key, whether it's in C, whether it's in G, whether it's in E, A, it doesn't matter. That combination of chords built off of its major scale stays consistent. All right, so those are the 4 types. Now there's some other chords in there as well. You know, if you have if I'm in the key of C, the 2 chord would be the D minor, the 3 chord would be an E minor. Those are some other ones that are helpful to know. But the main ones, if you're trying to figure out what chords are in which song, chances are it's going to be one of those 4 chords. And if you try one chord and it doesn't sound right, try one of the other ones, and I bet you it'll be correct. All right. So that is basically what I explained to you there is the first page of that PDF. So go ahead and flip over to page 2. Now, guitar players, we like to take the easy way, okay? So guitar players, there are certain keys that are easier to play on guitar than others. The key of C, the key of A, the key of G, the key of E, the key of D. Those 5 keys tend to be just easier to be able to play on guitar rather than the key of E flat or B flat or G flat or B. You know, so we call those C, A, G, E, and D the caged keys. You'll hear that term a lot in guitar circles. Sometimes it refers to kind of the shape of the chords. We're going to refer to it, for our purposes right here, with the keys. Those keys, the key of C, the key of A, the key of G, the key of E, the key of D, are 5 keys that guitar players like to play in, because that's easy. We like those keys. But there's 12 different keys, and that's only 5. How do we get to these other keys? Well, we can use a capo, okay? This is a rather beginner, intermediate sort of a lesson. So a capo will allow us to play in the keys that we like, that are easier to play in, but if I put my capo on, then I can transpose to other keys, and to where it'll sound in another key, but I'm only playing in the key of, in one of those guitar-friendly keys. All right, so take a look at that. Take a look at page 2. All right, if I take these 4 chords, the 1, the 4, the 5, the 6 minor, our 4 primary chords, and I put those into guitar-friendly keys, if I put it into, let's say, the key of, let's say the key of G. Key of G, okay? Well, the 1 chord is going to be a G. The 4 chord is going to be a what? Okay? 4 chord is going to be a what? If we're in the key of G, G is the 1. The 4 chord would be a C chord. Okay, the 5 chord in the key of G, what do you think that might be? Think it out. Think it out. G, A, B, C, D. That would be a D 7th would be, because we had that 7 on the 5 chord. So we've got a G, a C, a D 7th we're going to see a lot of. The 6 minor in the key of G would be a G, A, B, C, D, E, an E minor. All right, so those 4 chords would be a G, C, D7, and an E minor. Okay, now that doesn't sound too musical just yet. But those 4 types of chords, it doesn't matter what order they come in. Sometimes it'll be 1, 5, 6 minor, 4, back to 1, 5, 6 minor. Okay, let's switch it around more. What if I went 1 to 6 minor, and then to 5, and then to 4? So I'm just randomly throwing combinations together. Let's do 1, 6 minor, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A different combination. What if I don't even start on the 1? What if I start on the 4? What if I went 4, 1, 6 minor, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Those 4 chords in a variety of orders tend to be the primary chords that you're going to hear in a lot of different songs. Okay, well, what if my song is not in G? What if it is in G, a half step above that, like a G sharp or an A flat? Okay, well, how do I do that? Well, I grab my handy dandy capo, and I put my capo at the 1st fret, because we're going to go up 1 step. In music, it's a 1 fret's worth. Let me say it that way, okay? Because there's half steps and whole steps in music, and on guitar, 1 whole step is 2 frets worth. So actually, 1 fret would be a half step. Okay. So then now my G chord has to be a half step up. So that's a little bit about how that would work. But when I go through all of these different keys, we did it in the key of G there. What if I did it in the key of, let's say, A? What if we did the 4 main chords in the key of A? All right, so it's a different set of chords. What's the 1 chord in the key of A? Well, that's obvious. That would be A major, okay? What would be the 4 chord in the key of A? What would be the 4 chord in the key of A? Well, just count it up. A, B, C sharp, D. The D chord. And it would be major because 1, 4s, and 5s are major. Okay? The 5 chord in the key of A would be an E7th. An E7th. Remember on 5s we add that 7th? So far I have 1, D, 5, E7. Be the 6 minor in the key of A. Okay, I count it up. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. Remember, there's 3 sharps in the key of A. F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So the 6th chord would be an F sharp minor. F sharp minor. So the 4 main chords in the key of A would be A, D, E7, and an F sharp minor. Minor, 4, 5, 1, 6 minor, 4, 5. Okay, that's the key of A. All right, switch keys. All right, let's go. I don't know. Let's go the key of D. Key of D. All right, think it out for me. What's the 1 chord in the key of D? That's easy. The key of D would be a D chord, right? What would be the 4 chord in the key of D? D, E, F sharp, G would be the 4 chord in the key of D. So we've got a D, we've got a G, we've got a 1 and a 4. What's a 5? What would be the 5, 7 in the key of D, do you think? What would be the 5-7 in the key of D, do you think? D, E, F sharp, G, A, 7. Very good. What would be the 6 minor in the key of D? D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, B minor. So we're dealing with the 4 primary chords in the key of D are D, G, A 7th, B minor. Okay? One, D, 5, A, B minor, 6, 4, G. All right, so we've done it in G, we've done it in A, we've done it in D. Let's see, what else do we need to do it in? We need to do it in E. E, okay? So what's the 1 chord in the key of E? That's easy, E major. What about the 4 chord in the key of A? In the key of E would be A. I gave you the answer there. Okay, the 5 chord would be a B, but it would be a B 7th. So there you go, B 7th. A little bit of a different form there. The 6 minor in the key of E, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp minor. Okay, that's going to be a bar chord. Okay, so we've done the key of G, we've done the key of A, we've done the key of D, we've done the key of E. Now the only last one we haven't done is the key of C, which the 1 chord in the key of C is a C. The 4 chord is an F major, which is another bar chord. 5 chord would be a G7. 6 would be an A minor. Okay. All right. So now we've done it. We've done all 5 of the main guitar-friendly keys, and we've done all the primary chords in those keys. Now if you add all that up together, that ends up being about 15 different chord shapes. If you look at page 2 of that PDF, you get those 15 chord shapes that appear. And that's where it all starts on guitar. If you want to start getting serious about your guitar playing, this is the first brick in the yellow brick road. Okay, is these 15 chord shapes right here? Is learning these and memorizing those shapes. That's part of the part of being able to play songs and being able to sit around with others and play and make music. These chords are the foundation ones. I know there's hundreds more. I know that. These are the ones that you're going to see just in general playing a lot more often. So memorize these. If you're just new, just starting out in your guitar playing journey, hey, a good place to start is these 15 chords. Try to get them underneath your fingers. The X, as you're looking at these chord diagrams, the X means you don't play that string. Those little diagrams are basically a picture of the end of your guitar. So that on that first one, that A has an X on it, so we don't play that low 6th string. Then we have an open circle, but it's off the neck, so that's our 5th string. That's open. 2nd finger, that's where the 2 is, the 3, the 4. All of those are on the 2nd fret there. And then I have the open circle after that. That's A major. The next one after that, A minor, abbreviated with the M. A minor. A7 is the next one there. So if you go through all of those, I'm not going to take you through all of them, but a couple of them I'm going to point out. Look at B minor. Okay? It's got that arc on it, and that means that your first finger is covering more than one string. If it has those open circles off the neck, those are using at least one, sometimes more than one, open string. Those are indicating open strings. This string is open, that string is open. Sometimes some notes are fretted, other notes have open strings. If a chord uses open strings, they call it an open chord. If a chord does not use that, and we use maybe one finger to cover more than one string, those are called bar chords, and how they're notated in guitar is with that arc there, as you see on the B minor. So I hold all 5 of those strings with my first finger. Takes a little bit more pressure to do it. If you're unfamiliar with bar chords, we did a series. It's all free. Just go back and look at our playlists right there on our YouTube channel about playing bar chords. If you're unfamiliar with these chord shapes, go back. We got a whole workout that we did on the chords that you need to know, and we go through all of this stuff. It's all free. It's all free. Just man, learn it. Go make some music with it. Okay. Hey, change the world. That's what this is about. Okay. So we have tools and resources to help you with this. Okay. As you go down, notice between the B minor and the C sharp minor on page 2 there, you'll notice it's the same shape. Just one of them is up here at the 2nd fret, and the other one, you'll see that little 4, it says 4 there. It's the same shape, you just move it up here to the 4th fret. Okay? So those two are actually the same shape. So that's be where I would start, is memorizing all of that, all of those chords. You'll notice on those bar chords, the B minor, the C sharp minor, the F, those all have a diamond, in one of those, and they're not all circles. One of them is a diamond. That's a diamond that indicates the root that is movable. So that's a B. That's where my diamond is. So this is a B minor. If I move it up here to C, do the same shape, that's a C minor. Okay, see how that works? All right, so those are the 15 chord shapes that you need to start out with. All right, but Steve, what if I find find across a song that is not in C, A, G, E, D, all of my guitar-friendly keys? How do I handle that? Well, if you don't know an E flat minor and all of those other types of chords, then we try and put them into the nearest guitar-friendly key. And so we've got a series on capos. If you want to, go to guitargathering.com, take a look at the downloads, and you're going to come across one there that is a capo chart that I would encourage you to download and get familiar with. This is actually part of some of that. But here, take a look at page 3. If only there was a chart. Steve, if only there was a chart that said where to put my capo. I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have to do math. If I could just have it written out. If I want to be in the key of, E flat, what chords should I play from one of my guitar-friendly keys, and where should I put my capo? All right. What do you think have I been doing all afternoon? I made this little handy-dandy chart for you. All right, so let's say I want to play an E flat, but I want to use my guitar-friendly keys. Well, how do I do that? Well, look at the first column. That's the key that I'm trying to play in. If you go down about halfway down, you get to the key of E flat. You go across. Where does it say? Where to put your capo? That's the second column. It says put it at the 1st fret. So I'm going to put my capo at the 1st fret. What chords am I going to use? I'm going to use chords from my guitar-friendly key of D. The 1 chord is now a D, but it's sounding as an E flat because I've got my capo on it. But to me, it's just a D, okay? What's the 4 chord, I wonder? Well, it's listed right there, G. What's the 5 chord? An A7. 6 chord, a B minor. But now with this capo, they're sounding in the key of E flat. So with knowing these tricks, I could then play all of these favorite chords, all of these guitar chords that I like in my guitar-friendly keys, but I can superimpose them into any other key. What's another one? Let's do another. A flat. A flat. Well, what should I play if I want to do it in the key of A flat? Well, let's look. The key of A flat, and look all the way down to the bottom of the chart. You see the key of G sharp and A flat. Those are both the same key, just looking, one of them is looking at it from a sharp perspective, the other's looking at it from a flat perspective. Where should I put my capo? Well, at the 1st fret again, but this time I'm going to use my G family of chord-friendly, of guitar-friendly chords. G, C, D7, and E minor. There you go. And that's how this works. So you can go and use any of these chords, these top guitar chords, the ones that you like to play. They're in these guitar-friendly places on the neck, but with your capo, you can use them in other keys. What if I wanted to play in B flat? B flat, where would I want to do that? Or let's do another one. Let's do B. Now, a terrible key for guitar. B, okay? All right, where should I put? Well, if I look on my chart there, I go put my capo at the 2nd fret. Now, as I'm putting the capo on, you don't want to put it like that, okay? that's going to get you kind of a weird sound. You want to try and be as straight as you can be, and you want to kind of be hugging. You don't want to be kind of in the middle or back this way. You want to be hugging up right behind that fret when you put on a capo. Okay, not on the fret, but just kind of right behind it, as straight as you can make it. Sometimes it's a little off. That's okay, but you just don't want it like that, okay? So if I put it kind of like that, that'll be good. If I'm playing in the key of B, I'm supposed to play my chords in the key of A, my guitar-friendly key of A. So that's just some options for you to do it. So now you know how to do that. If you want to go a little bit further with capoing and how to do it and where to put some different options for keys, because I can capo further up on the neck, I would encourage you to download that free capo and transposition chart that we have, which gives you 3 different options. Where to play it, where it would normally, the closest option for a capo, and then a high option for a capo. So let's say if I wanted to get kind of a high sound and I want to be maybe up here, or maybe back here a little bit. Kind of gets a little bit of a music box sound when we have it up here. All of those options listed right out for you are on that capo and transposition chart. So if you're interested, it's there for you as well at guitargathering.com. I'll try and put the link down after the broadcast underneath in the descriptions there. So there you go. Those are all the top guitar chords that you need to know, and there's a way to play them in any key. So we had a couple of questions before we go on here. If we could scroll back a little bit, let me see some of those questions. There was one of them. Oh, Brian was asking, I struggle with looking at a piece of music and figuring out where to place the capo. I know however, it seems to be a mental block. Where to place the capo. All right. You want to place the capo, and again, I would encourage you to get the capo in the transposition chart, because I take all the guesswork out of it. I just say, where do you want to go, and here's where you put it. But here's the thinking behind that. Brian, great question. It's a lot of confusion on that. You want to go to the nearest guitar-friendly key, G, or whatever our guitar-friendly keys, the caged keys, C, A, G, E, and D. You want to go to the nearest guitar-friendly key that is above where you want to sound. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? If I'm in the key of E flat, no, it's below. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. You put the capo above. You want to go to the nearest guitar-friendly key that is below where you're trying to sound. Okay, so if I'm in the key of E flat, and I want to play in the key of E flat, I want to go to the nearest guitar-friendly key, C, E, G, E, A, or D, that is beneath where I want to be. E flat is here. The closest one, would that be C? Well, that's 3 steps away. What about A? Oh man, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps away. What about G? Oh, that's even further. What about D? That is only 1 step away. 1 step away. So that's going to be the answer. I put my capo at the first fret, because the distance between E flat and D and E flat is 1 fret away from each other. So I put my capo at the first fret, and then I play in D. So I'm playing in D all along, and what is sounding is the key of E flat. Okay, very good. Good question on that. All right, that's a little bit of using the top guitar chords in any key, and that's a great way to get started with learning your chords and learning how to use a capo. Now, before we go, I want to also give you some tips as we're coming into the new year here, of planning your learning. Learning just doesn't happen. It doesn't just, I just wander in and I get on a track and start learning stuff. No, it's the getting on the track part. That's the part of it. So you need to think about what you would like to learn. I'd like to learn blues. I'd like to learn pentatonic scales. I'd like to learn bluegrass. Whatever it is for you, grab a sheet of paper, write out what you'd like to do. Write 2 or 3 of them. No more than 3. No more than 3. 2 or 3 of them. 1, 2, or 3. Okay? Things you would like to learn. I'd like to do bar chords better. I'd like to play bluegrass. I'd like to learn 2 jazz songs. Whatever it is. Okay? Write that out. And then just not for the year. That's too much. That's too long. 90 days. 3 months. 3 months. We can focus. Let's focus your learning time for 3 months. Okay? And here's how you do that. If you want to learn pentatonic scales, let's say, for the next 90 days. Okay? Well, you don't have 15 different things that you want to learn. It doesn't work like that. You won't get any sort of decent time on any of them. Okay? You want to get at least 15 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes on the particular issue that you're trying to learn. Okay, whether it's pentatonic scales. If I only spend 5 minutes on pentatonic scales, then I never really get deep enough to start getting into some learning. You got to go at least 10 minutes before you're starting to really get down in deep enough into a concept to learn it. Okay, so that's what I would encourage you to do. Take 2, 3 at the most things that you want to learn. Split it up, not for a year and forever. You want to do it for 3 months. 3 months. Okay, and in your practicing, well, how does it break down into my normal practice time? Spend 10 minutes. Start just doing 10 minutes on each. 10 minutes on each. If you don't have a block of 30 minutes that you can spare, then do a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening. Okay, a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening. If you can't do that, maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday work on this. Tuesday and Thursday work on that. Whatever. Try to have your guitar in your hands most days. Okay, don't sit down and say, well, all I have time is on Saturday. I'm just gonna mess around with my guitar for an hour or 2. You're not going to get anything done. You're not going to get anything done. You're just going to noodle around and not get any progress. I would rather have you for 10 minutes for 5 days a week than 2 hours of just noodling around on your couch on a Sunday afternoon while the football game's on. You're not getting anything done. And this practicing is about getting something done. Write down 3 things that you want to learn. Okay? Put at least 10 minutes each on each of those different topics. I don't care even what you do with those topics. Find yourself a good book, a resource, whatever that you can start learning, start working your way through. Work at your own pace. Don't put all this pressure on yourself. I'm going to go 100 pages a day. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're never going to learn a thing. Don't do that. A week later, the guitar is going to be underneath your bed. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to do 1 page a day, maybe 1 page a week, to where I really learn it. And that's how you learn things, in little bits and pieces like that. But plan your learning. That's how you get things done in the practice room. Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. If you like what we do, please take a minute to subscribe. Click that little bell notification. We go live on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we do guitar workouts where I'm actually taking you through a plan of action where we're actually playing together. Okay, we do that on Wednesdays. So Tuesdays is a little bit more of a lesson. Wednesdays is more of a hands on your guitar workout. So if you like what we do, thanks for being part of our guitar family. Love you guys so much. We will see you next time.